Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX with me, Devika Devan. India's AI Impact Summit 2026 is underway in New Delhi's Bharat Mandapam, bringing together global tech giants, policymakers, innovators and heads of state for a 5-day conversation on the future of artificial intelligence. India has unveiled a series of landmark initiatives, including 12 indigenous AI foundation models trained on Indian data and languages, and a bold commitment to grow sovereign AI and digital infrastructure. In a major industry move, Qualcomm has announced up to $150 million worth of investments in strategic AI venture funds for startups across AI, IoT, robotics and mobile sectors, affirming its confidence in India's innovation ecosystem. On the investment front, analysts are tracking unprecedented capital pledges exceeding tens of billions for AI data centers, compute infrastructure and deep tech ventures tied to major Indian and multinational players. Prime Minister Narendra Modi stressed that AI can augment human capability and accelerate India's trajectory towards a Viksit Bharat 2047, while underscoring responsible use and inclusivity as the cornerstones of the AI journey. Industry leaders, including CEOs from Google, OpenAI, Qualcomm and Adobe, highlighted themes from multilingual AI adoption to governance frameworks, each urging AI that is both safe and socially impactful in sectors like education, healthcare and agriculture. As this global summit continues, India is positioning itself not just as a consumer of AI, but as a designer and steward of responsible AI for the global south. Over the course of the next 25 minutes, I have Ambassador Baswati Mukherjee with us, Ashish Tandon, founder and CEO of IndusSpace, Dr. Jayjeet Bhattacharya, president of CDUP, and Dr. Sharat Kohli, senior economist, with us on the broadcast to get their thoughts and views, firstly on what's happening, but at the same time to go over some of the big announcements that have been made that are coming India's way, and what does that truly mean, and how does one sitting in India really tap into the possibilities. I want to begin with Ambassador Mukherjee. Ambassador Mukherjee, I want to understand from you, ma'am. Of course, there have been, headlines about some chaos and some robo-dog, etc. And there are all sorts of headlines that are coming out which are really trying to suppress what's genuinely happening in New Delhi, ma'am. I want to understand from your perspective, and if you can perhaps be the voice of India for all the people watching right now, the fact that we have managed to organize the world's largest AI summit, bring heads of states and heads of all major tech companies of the world together in New Delhi over the course of 5 days. What does this mean, ma'am? What does this indicate?
It actually means, Devika, two things. First of all, it's a national trait in India, and I should know, being a Bengali, we just love to criticize. We have to criticize something. So if there is a summit, we have to find some shortcoming in it. There were some shortcomings on the first day, they were fixed. I was told by friends who went today. But the most important issue is not some logistical, shortcoming. The point is, as you rightly pointed out, Devika, we were able to organize the world's largest AI summit in a seamless way. We were able to get top leaders, top CEOs, etc. And we were able to establish a certain position of leadership on AI. And at the same time, we are in the process of convincing a sometimes skeptical Indian public that AI is good for India and not bad for India. That AI is not going to cause massive unemployment, etc., etc., because these are the kind of issues which a lot of people raised with me. And frankly, a lot of us, including myself, we read up a lot before the AI summit to educate ourselves on what the summit is about, what are we going to do, why is it important for India, why is it important for India to demonstrate global leadership, etc., etc. And then there were so many other take-ons, including President Macron's visit, the fact that at the same time he's invited PM for the G7, etc., etc. All this sends a strong message, particularly to those who try to critique us or to scold us or to hold out H-1B visas as a kind of, you don't want to do this, we'll stop your H-1B visa. This summit demonstrates you don't want us, you want to hold up H-1B visa, that's your loss. We have got plenty of people who want us, who want to do business with us, and we are ready to look for huge number of partners to do business with us. There's a lot of stuff floating on social media which is unverified, so I won't quote it. I got at least 10 of them sending me this forward from this lady who sounded very convincing, but then again, it could be AI, so I'm not going to quote it. But the point is that this AI summit, which is amazingly successful, has demonstrated India's leadership role. And Bharat Mandapam, frankly, is very, very impressive. You would know that, Devika, since you must have been going there every day. It's very impressive. Anybody who goes there, particularly from outside India, they send amazing reports. Okay, there was a traffic jam or there was some shortage, I'm told, of drinking water or whatever, it's all been fixed. The point is that happens everywhere. I have attended international summits in most developed countries where there have always been logistical problems, which are sorted out. Point here is this AI summit demonstrates Viksit India, we are coming. We are almost there. We are moving. India is on the move. And the reassurance to skeptical Indians, Devika, that's equally important. Indians have to understand that the right kind of AI, the safe AI, the AI that can be used to improve our education, our health, etc., that is what is good for us. Not the kind of AI that would substitute good education, etc., etc. This was very important educative experience for 1.4 billion people, Devika.
Absolutely. And it's also about harnessing the power of AI to educate those 1.4 billion people. We have a challenge when it comes to having enough teachers. We keep talking about the teacher-student ratio. One has to become creative about how to bridge that gap and take the best of what technology has to offer to the people. And on that note, let me bring in Ashish Tandon, founder and CEO of IndusFace, who joins us, also an AI firm. Ashish Tandon, if you could perhaps explain to our viewers a little bit about IndusFace and tell us what doors and opportunities does an AI summit open for someone like you who's in that space?
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Firstly, as you can see, we are a cybersecurity company, and with the adoption of AI, I think one of the things, like, there is going to be a huge amount of data processing happening, and AI is all about data. Security is going to be very, very important. At IndusFace, I think we saw this coming early. It's been about a year and a half since we use AI in every aspect of our business, and especially from a cybersecurity perspective, it's extremely important to have a mechanism to detect the attacks as they happen, protect them in real time, and keep monitoring them. And all of this with so much of AI available, not only to people like us who are protecting our customers, but there are hackers who are trying to use the same AI and the same infrastructure available to them very cheaply to kind of cause disruption. So I think AI is definitely here to stay. Our customers we are able to respond in almost real time now, and that's thanks to AI. Earlier, we used to depend on software and people, but leveraging all three of them has really helped our customers remain protected. Now, coming to what does AI mean for India, this event, I think it's just fantastic. I think a lot of good work is done by Indians or the Indian companies and Indian outfits in the space of AI. This will just give us the prominence and the global spotlight. We have always been delivering world class. We have world class SaaS technology, and now AI is definitely here to stay with us. From a perspective, I think one of the things which Ambassador Mukherjee touched upon was that, is this going to have an impact on displacing people, or is it going to affect jobs? I can say from our own experience that we have been using AI for for about a year and a half. We haven't laid off anybody, but what we have really done is We have reallocated jobs. We have kind of reskilled some of our technology folks, made them understand what it takes. And I think each one of them understand the important. It's not going to take away their jobs. It's actually going to help them. And I think we would be a very good example that I don't think we have laid off. We're actually hiring more because we need now, based on what we are seeing from AI and the output we are getting and the kind of customer requirements we are coming in,
Yes.
we are leveraging more people.
Okay, in just a few moments before having this conversation, when all of us, I'm sure, who are in the space are also trying to read up what's happening, what new is being announced, and I put out something on social media saying, imagine organizing the world's largest AI summit and some university is grabbing all the headlines. So viewers, here are the actual headlines I want to read out for you, and then I'm going to take it forward with our economists as well, Jayajit Bhattacharya and Sharath Kohli. Google has announced new fiber optic routes between the US and India. 20 million Indian public servants will be trained under their AI models as well. So that's Google. Microsoft, let's put that out if we can on our screens. Microsoft has said a $17.5 billion investment over the next 4 years as far as AI in India is concerned. NVIDIA has said that they will build India's largest gigawatt scale AI factory. So NVIDIA has made this announcement. OpenAI has tied up with IIT Ahmedabad and aims to educate more than 1 lakh students. So once again, education comes back into the picture, and Qualcomm has announced $150 million for strategic AI venture funds in India. So these are all your top companies, top tech companies of the world, and these are the true headlines, and these are the developments that we need to be talking about. Jayajit, bringing you into the conversation, how do I, Jayajit, sitting today in India, now charting out the next 10 years perhaps in my mind, make use of the opportunities that are coming our way?
If you look at the India AI Summit itself, and if you look at the plethora of startups that were there, even the government was not aware of the intensity of AI initiatives that was there in India. And the reason I'm mentioning that is in relation to your question that where do rest of us fit in who may not directly be into AI for that matter or not a startup, is that everything single thing that we're doing will be touched upon by AI. And we can see that even in newscasting. I think one of the Indian channels declared that they have an AI avatar which will be doing the newscasting. A year ago, there was a Korean news agency which said the same thing. So it's going to touch every one of us. And what we need to do, and that's something that Ashish hinted at, is we need to do rapid upskilling. I think the issue and the challenge in India is that there will be a lot of opportunities, but we need to have the right kind of educational background to be able to scale up. And I think that's where we will be moving in. If you look at the conference itself, a lot of focus was on education, because for large scale education, you would need AI, and a high quality AI can provide high quality education based on sovereign technologies. And I think that's what's going to open up. The second part is a lot of opportunities which are unprecedented will open up. People with limited skills can actually use the foundation models being created by the 12 or 14 models that you talked about in India. They can build their technologies on top of these models and provide solutions which will then cater to the 1.5 billion, which was not possible without AI. And so more people will be touched in a more meaningful manner, in a more impactful manner, and lead to a significant transformation in lives. And that's where the other point that you were mentioning, Devika, that people are scared of AI. If you recollect, even when there was Aadhaar getting launched, there was a lot of pushback because there was a lot of scaremongering that happened around Aadhaar. And we lost a lot of valuable years. Yes, we had some good public debate, and that's always welcome. But public debate should be based on a good information being disseminated about what we are debating about. And I think this particular summit helped in people understanding what is AI about, and therefore take out some of the fears and showcase some of the opportunities. In fact, to the issue of the dog, the robotic dog, today we actually had Tata's showcasing a completely grounds up Indian built robotic dog. So those issues happens everywhere. It's more of bringing up the standards of our education system. But in terms of what India brings to the globe, I think that's unchallenged, undisputed, and we are providing the leadership to Global South, and that's something which is a key takeaway from this summit.
All right, Sharad Kohli, bringing you into the conversation as well. Sharad, I was just also going over some of the announcements that have been made by the heads of state. You know, Emmanuel Macron. In fact, anyone who's watching, you can go on his X account, and just an hour back, he's actually posted an AI-generated photograph of himself with Prime Minister Modi, and of course, they're doing something funny, but the need, Sharad, that most of these countries are now finding in wanting to tap into India's potential, be it the people that we have here, because ultimately, as everyone else is also pointing out, right, that you will always need people for something or the other. I don't think that we will reach a point anytime soon where all of us will just become completely useless entities and there'll be robots all around. For example, Sharad Kohli, France announcing that they're inaugurating a Franco-Indian Center for Artificial Intelligence in Health, which will be jointly led by AIMS, the Sorbonne University and the Paris Brain Institute. Research, training and innovation, France and India harnessing AI for the common good. Sharad, in your assessment, some of the sectors that are most likely to get impacted and should be impacted by artificial intelligence?
Good evening, Devika, to you, my panelists, and the viewers. Well, I think there are two sides of this coin. Of course, one side is reskilling, upskilling, new opportunities being created out of the announcements made, the investments coming into the country of the list which you were reading out. Well, that's, of course, going to generate new jobs in the times to come. And obviously, people who are skilled enough, people who are educated enough in AI, people who've got skills of creating the tools for or applications of AI will definitely be in demand. But when it comes to routine jobs, the back-end jobs with things like coding, things like HR, legal, accounting, where there is a little bit of creativity and more of routine, I think obviously those jobs, and this is going to walk into our lives sooner than we can imagine, Devika. And, I mean, if we say 5 years, if somebody thinks that in the next 5 years, I would say in the next 2 years, because it moves very rapidly, and I'm sure Ashish will vouch for it. It can do magic. I mean, the glasses I'm wearing right now, I can see you, Devika, even without being projected on the screen. Nobody else can see on the screen. Probably my glasses can see. I can also see what's in the other room in which Jayjeet is sitting. So the magic which is being created by AI is only to be felt in a matter of time. I mean, if you think, I'm reiterating that, if you think that 5 years is what it's going to take, I can guarantee it's going to take to you, because one good thing about AI, which I think Ashish will vouch it moves at a very rapid speed. It walks into your life, it creates application, it creates usefulness and utilities faster than you can imagine. It happens very, very quickly. So I think people have to be cognizant of that fact. As far as India is concerned, definitely this summit is putting India on the global map. There is no denying the fact. I think the world is going to look at India hereafter. Well, there was a lot happening on AI in India already, but I think this just puts a stamp, which 20 heads of state coming here, over 500, innovations in AI participating, hours and hours of discussions, symposium, conferences, exhibitions going on, is just AI all the way. And I think this will, from here on, I would say, every time an Indian innovation comes to the surface, I think people are going to remember that there was this conference which India hosted, where if you walk through the exhibition, you will find the kind of innovations with Indian startups, small Indian companies, middle-sized Indian companies, of course, large Indian companies have been doing. The most ironical part of AI is the threat to the IT companies. Even today, I was dwelling into an article on IT companies in the next 5 years. Somebody wrote, let me not name the person, that these IT companies may become obsolete. Now, the very companies who created these AI tools are the companies under threat. So that's the irony of the situation, that these were the very companies who were involved, whose innovations, whose people were involved in creating these IT, advanced AI tools. Today, that AI has become a monster for their own business. But I'm sure a lot of these IT companies are prepared for that. It's not that they were just caught there napping. Well, some of them may be, but maybe not. I'm sure they are prepared. Reskilling and upskilling is the solution. One very important suggestion which I would like to make, and which I'm sure is being discussed in the whole event also, because the focus is on education and health, is that bringing AI to schools. I think not just universities or colleges, AI needs to move in right after standard 8 or so, where children should get trained at the school level. Only then they'll be able to orient themselves. After they're passing out, they will be able to carve out a career, especially the students who are into, want to go into IT, stream. I think that's the right point to be introducing. And I'm sure there are AI tools being developed to impart education to children. But I think we need AI tools to make it as part of the curriculum of education. It coming up as a separate mandatory subject here on, because as I said, it will grab you even before you know, in so many aspects of your life, whether it is governance, and we've got a cybersecurity expert sitting here. It's practically in defense, in education, in health, in just about everything. It's going to walk in sports. I mean, you name a field, and I think AI can walk in there. So I think a landmark moment for India, with India taking leadership in this. And I'm sure the way Indian IT professionals, Devika, have established their prowess over the last decades in terms of IT services, I'm sure Indian AI is going to become a big brand in the years to come. Devika.
Right, absolutely. On that note, I thank all of our panelists for joining us to take this conversation forward. And we look forward to many more such conversations, not just over the next 2 days till the summit is live, but much beyond that as well. Thank you so much to the panelists for joining us, and thank you so much to the viewers for tuning in. On that note, a very short break.